So my highlight for the week was the theme of committed relationships, which was really important for me. The speakers that they got to talk about the theme were just excellent, and I really appreciated having the time to think through it and to think about which way the community, the Quaker community, should move forward on this issue. And I'm really proud of the work that we've done on it this week, and also I was really inspired by the speakers that they had.
I've really enjoyed the session that I went to on the Sunday, which was a talk by two of the Woodbrook tutors, I think, Alex Wildwood and Timothy Pete Ashworth, talking about their forthcoming book, Rooted in Christianity, Open to New Light. Talking about the conversations that they've had across the kind of diversity of Quakers within the yearly meeting, and how they've kind of learnt from each other from more Christian and more liberal traditions to kind of keep engaging with that and learning from it. One of them commented, "We still disagree on this issue after 8 years, but the conversation continues," and that's something I love about Quakers, and been really enthused to hear at this meeting. And I don't know, there's a plug for the book in there, but I'll definitely be getting a copy to kind of continue the conversation, take something forward from the meeting.
I think my highlight was discovering that I was facilitating a home group that I knew. I didn't know that more than half of them were going to be from junior yearly meeting. And it was fabulous. It was absolutely lovely. It was much nicer. Especially they wanted us to start with biscuits and squash, so as to soften the blow.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, lovely that. I mean, see, I didn't put myself down for home. This was like home group because I'd been asked to do in and out, according to our friend Rachel. And so I ended up, so what they were thinking, there was going to be people just coming in and out for a day, or half a day. And they just wanted some people, but another friend.
It's a really good idea.
And when it came to it, I know we went over to Bangor in the cafe down, so the team was really fine, and there was just lots of people chatting, so I mean I just merged in. But it was interesting because there were people that would find something sometimes a bit difficult to talk about.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of difference, and that actually was really, really good. So I enjoyed that.
Yeah, my high spot, I think, has been today, where the culmination of all the decisions that have been made, especially the decision about marriage for same-sex partnerships. I mean, although there's no reason to feel this, I can sometimes feel very alone with my beliefs, and to see it validated by the whole 1,700 Quakers, to see that, and the Action on Climate Change, was very strong.
Yes.
And it's just so inspiring.
It is, it's wonderful, but this is the easy bit.
Yeah.
Because we've got to go back,
Yeah.
and we've got to explain, and it's not so bad in meeting, I'm going to have fun in the village. It's a very little village.
Right.
And we have a village lunch once a month in the church warden's house. And I'm going to be for lunch, I think.
Oh, hello.
Yes, because
But that's the hard work.
Yeah, you've got to communicate.
You've got to communicate with somebody who hasn't actually gone through the same journey.
That's right.
And that's the difficult bit, because I think a lot of people changed their minds, or at least modified their minds over the course of the week,
Yeah.
just by dint of listening.
Yearly meeting has been special, and some of the highlights for me has been having the opportunity to be momentarily responsible for the youngest member, aged 3 months, and then working my way through yearly meeting, wondering whether I really feel yearly meeting and summer gathering together works. I'm thrilled to bits that junior yearly meeting is here, because that's how my first experience began, when junior yearly meeting was at the same time as yearly meeting in London. We had the small meeting house and the grown-ups were elsewhere. So it's been great.
I think my highlight was the Mamma Mia sing-along last night. It was just absolute pure joy. and to hear everybody just singing along, and there was a real sense of community, and we had such a laugh. And then at the end of it, we were sort of all got up and danced, and everybody was clapping, and it was just absolute pure joy for me.
Okay, my highlight for this week has been the sessions on committed relationships, and particularly the very fine introductions we had on them, which I think influenced people quite considerably. They were very deep, very moving. They made very real to people the nature of the commitment that there can be in all sorts of different relationships, and that, I think, needs to be seen as a very important part of how the mood of the society changed, but also confirmed the change that had been happening progressively. And now we've got, I think, a position which is perhaps a bit bolder and a bit more prophetic than perhaps anybody thought we would have at this meeting, and that's, I find, extremely important.
Very surprised by how far we've moved on committed relationships this week. I wasn't expecting it to go that far, but I'm very pleased, and nearly everybody I've spoken to is very pleased and surprised as well. I think it's been a very guided decision. I think we have listened very carefully to each other, and I think it's going to be a really important historic day. I think that we made great efforts to try and run the gathering as a community, which has been good. Community doesn't mean that everybody agrees with everybody, doesn't mean that there aren't misunderstandings and arguments, but nevertheless I think it's going to be a really exciting time to be a Quaker, really. I think that the thing that I find quite odd is that people are saying that it's a very inward-looking gathering, but actually what we've said is going to be lighting fires and beacons all over the world for people who are currently living under much worse legal regimes than we are. And of course there's been a very strong green thread going through the gathering about what we do about the crisis of climate change, and it actually wasn't discussed at any great length, because actually we all agree that we need to take radical action. So I think it's that's a legislation happening fast, but I think it's been a very exciting week, but quite difficult to hop between being a family, trying to tackle all the issues, probably too much on, but nevertheless very exciting.
It's been a really good time. One of the best things is that everybody in my family, 10-year-old, 17-year-old, 14-year-old and too old to mention, have really enjoyed being together and being stimulated in different ways. It's been very deep and profound and moving, the way people have moved in understanding each other's feelings.
Hi. I've been really impressed with all the activities that have been going on. I think there's been some really great artistic activities, and I found out a lot of stuff. I've really enjoyed the activities that have worked alongside the younger people, had some drama workshops, and yeah, it's been really good week.
I've been really inspired by all the absolutely extraordinary and amazing people. I feel rejuvenated, nourished, ready to go back to work. And lots of new work.
Okay, my highlight of the week has been seeing all of my old friends again, and also meeting lots and lots of new people, and being in home groups, so I get to know some people that I didn't really know that well before, and yeah, just see all of my old friends and even some of my family.
Hello friends, I'm really pleased to be able to tell you about what a great time I've had in York this week at Britain Uni Meeting Summer Gathering. I guess the highlights for me have been being able to spend time with friends that I know from being a little girl, and also friends who are new to me this week. It's been so good to spend quality time with people who you can trust and whose company you can enjoy. The business methods worked particularly well, I feel, this week, and it's been great to see how the Spirit's moved us to be tender and careful in moving forward, listening to the Spirit. I'm so thankful to have been part of that. Partly because it's just been such a calm, quiet time, but also it's just been so exciting to remember that we're part of a really radical society, but not just radical for the sake of being radical, but for something that we really care about. It's also been fantastic to be so well catered for this week, not to have to think about what to make for meals. The staff have looked after us so caringly, and if anyone from York University is listening, the staff have been very, very kind, and it's been humbling to see the gentle way that they've helped those of us particularly who are less able physically, and I'm really thankful for that. So thank you, friends, who've spent, I'm sure, lots and lots of time working hard and praying to make this week the week it's been for all of us. And thank you, friends, for giving me such a good week too.